I moved here 49 years ago with my husband, at the time, my first husband, John Gates. He later became a superintendent here. And I worked in the Freeman Building as a nurse. There was 16,000 patients here at the time. It was the largest hospital in the world at the time when we came. I worked here for about 3 years and went into the community to work in the alcohol and drug center. And I was the first nurse in the community, actually. And as that nurse, I was the director of nursing on the unit dealing with the patients from the Oconee area. So 4 days a week, I would go out to the different cities in the counties that we served. And 1 day a week, I would stay in the hospital in the attempts to encourage and find people who were discharged to take their medication and to come back for appointments. I didn't even give medicines as a nurse. They had staff, technicians that gave medications. I would make rounds on the unit and oversee the overall care as much as you could. At that time, people were sent to Central State or dropped off by their family if they had any kind of deviant behavior. And they never were discharged until the family decided they would come back and pick them up. Sometimes the family never came back and picked them up. When I moved to the Freeman Building, there was a merger for the first time of men and women. We made national news here because of the integration of male and female and because of the opening up of the doors of patients with mental illness to be allowed to go out into the community. To have the men and women on the same unit was just, it wasn't very popular. People were up in arms, basically, locally about it. I mean, the people that were here were the sickest of the sick. So the treatment did not have the outcomes that they have today in treatment centers. So in spite of all of that, the people that I worked with, all of them were very committed to helping these people with serious, persistent mental illness. And when you work together on a unit, because it's dangerous to work in a mental health facility where there's a crisis stabilization, where people are psychotic. And many of the units at that time were like that. And you just count on each other. You have to cover your back, really. I mean, you could not predict some of the behavior, and I think as a result, you counted on people taking care of you, and the loyalty of counting on certain people to be part of your staff or to look out for you was very important. In spite of all of the changes in mental health that have taken place for the better, for the recognition of mental illness, for the treatment, for the medication improvement, this place had a place in history. And it did provide some type of safety for the people who needed it at that time. And I appreciate the good part of that, being fully aware that it was not perfect and far from it. I hope they take this land that's got so much history. I hope that they develop it. I know that there are people who have benefited from being here. Their lives were restored to some degree where they're functioning and they have meaningful lives.